There we go. And admit all. Admit all. Admit all. There they are. Admit all. Hi, everyone. Great to see you. How is everyone? Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for coming by. Hello and welcome to Zenful Conversations. Can everyone hear okay? Thumbs up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Welcome, welcome. For anybody listening on the replay, you can find us having Zenful Conversations every single day in our community of women on Facebook, YouTube, and the Zenful Conversations podcast. We're in our 6th year and we'd love to have you with us. For more information, please visit zenfulconversations.com. My name is Zenjen Brown. I'm your host, and we're here today with our guest speaker, psychic medium, Connie Fusella. Connie, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Zenful Conversations.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Wonderful. Actually, let me pin you. There we go. And there we go. That should be good. Let me just say a little bit about Connie, introduce her to us. Connie says, those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Connie has worldwide clientele and comes to us highly recommended. Connie is a natural-born psychic medium, having spiritual awareness and experiences since she was a small child. In her early 20s, an allergic reaction to medication led to a near-death experience, which intensified her intuitive abilities. This was the catalyst that inspired her to seek out knowledge of her God-given gift and understand her divine purpose. Connie has completed the medium certification process administered by the Forever Family Foundation. The certified medium designation is prestigious and acknowledges proficiency in spirit communication via means that are neither deceptive or fraudulent. And the process is conducted under controlled conditions and evaluates the accuracy of the information communicated by the medium. Connie is featured in the book She Shines as the Psychic Next Door and has made guest medium appearances doing live on-air readings for Signs of Life Radio. Connie has the highest respect for the gift she has been given and considers it a privilege to be a vessel of communication between the physical and spiritual worlds. Her passion is to be of the highest service to others by continually seeking knowledge and enhancing her communication link with spirit, so she may bring forth messages of love and healing to those who seek answers, comfort, and closure. Connie Fusella is here with us today, and she looks forward to sharing a meaningful message with you. Connie, thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you a few questions, and there's a lot that we'd like to cover today. So for the sake of time, we're going to try to be a little bit brief in these questions because we are going to do some readings at the end here today. Can you briefly tell us a little bit about how you discovered your psychic abilities? Your bio says that you're a natural-born psychic medium, having spiritual awareness and experiences since you were a small child. Can you explain that a little bit?
Sure. So when I was about 4 years old, I was very attached to my mom, and we lived in upstate New York, and every Saturday was laundry day. So we had the basement downstairs where our washer and dryer was. So I would follow her every Saturday morning down the stairs and go into the washroom and watch her do the laundry. Well, one day after, we went in and did the laundry and we're headed back up the stairs, I had this feeling like something was behind me, and I turned around, and in the corner of the far room, I saw an old man. And so it startled me, and I thought, oh, and I just ran past my mom up the stairs. I went into my bed, got under the covers, and I was terrified. I wasn't sure, what I saw. So as I sat there for a little bit with it, I'm 4 years old. I said to myself, I must have just seen a shadow, right? There couldn't have been an old man down there. So the next Saturday, I followed my mom down the stairs again. And sure enough, as I'm coming down the stairs, there's that old man in the corner again. So I, just get to my mom's side. We go in and do the laundry, and my mind's going 100 miles an hour, like, what's going on? Well, the thing about this is where the old man was standing, in our basement, it was like a L corridor, like behind doors. So it was one big room, and then there was like a 6-foot L-shaped corridor, right, where the laundry room was on one side. My father had all his tools and stuff, but where the old man was standing was behind another door that my father said, never ever open that door, because the furnace was behind there. So in my little, child mind, I'm thinking to myself, oh, now I know why I shouldn't go behind that door, right? Because obviously this old man is back there or stays back there. So this was what I was thinking. So this is, I kind of sat with this, and then the next Saturday went back down, and sure enough, I see the old man there. And as we're going back up the stairs, I turn around to look to see if he's still there, and I see him. And my mom, is like, looks at me. It's like, Connie, come on, what are you staring at? And I point directly at the old man. And my mom says, there's nothing there. Come on, let's go. So now I'm really confused, because I'm like, why didn't my mother say she sees this old man, right? And so I just thought that this was a secret, and I shouldn't say anything, because they told me never to go behind this door. This old man must live there secretly for whatever reason, I don't know, and I'm not saying anything. So I only saw him, a few times, and, spirit is very clever. And I think, what happened is I had this little stuffed animal that was a little lion cub named Leah that I got for Christmas when I turned 4. And I, as a kid would, I took her everywhere. That was, my best friend. So all of a sudden, I stopped seeing that old man, but Leah could all of a sudden talk, or so I thought. So I had begun now to hear spirit, and being clever, they probably figured, oh, seeing an old man spirit, was a little bit intimidating for this young child. So now we're going to make her hear with something that she feels comfortable with, right? A little toy that, so I thought, and it was little stuff. It wasn't, I didn't get the lotto numbers or anything, but, I would just hear, and like something like your dad's about to come into the, come through the door. And sure enough, my dad would walk through the door, or the phone would ring, and I'd hear like who was on the other end. Grandma's calling. I would just hear little things. Sometimes it was encouragement, like I would be coloring and I'd hear, you're doing a great job, you're staying in the lines, just little tidbits here and there. And then, kind of fast forward, just like you hear a lot of children, can see and hear spirit when they're younger, and they kind of grow out of it once they start school, because, right, our analytical brains start to function. And so when I started first grade, Leah kind of, I kind of outgrew her. I stopped seeing and hearing spirit, but I then started to just know things. So I started out clear seeing, or clairvoyant. So clair is the French word for clear. So I started out clairvoyant, and then I became clear hearing, or clairaudient, and then I became clear knowing, or claircognizant.
Thank you. I imagine that would have, I don't know what, I mean, that's such a young age,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in your early 20s, this near-death experience, which intensified your intuitive abilities. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So, to carry on with the claircognizant, I sailed through 12th grade, A+ student, never studied for a test. I just knew things. So, I just thought I was naturally smart. I started to have some premonitions, some little things happening. I've actually had 2 near-death experience, possibly 3. The third might have been like some outer body, all related to what do you want to say, after effects of medication, allergic reactions. So the first near-death experience that I had, allergic reaction to medication, and I was in my early 20s, and as I got rushed to the hospital, I was given medication to I was going into anaphylactic shock. I had all of a sudden, I saw someone walking towards me. It was this bright light. I was sitting, all of a sudden, I was out of my body. I was sitting on the floor, Indian style. I saw like this bright illuminating figure coming towards me. And then this big book was just placed in my lap. It took up the span of my whole, leg, sitting Indian style on the floor. And the pages were like, it was an old leather bound book. I could see it was very old, and I could see the parchment papers were glowing with light coming out of them. And then as I looked at the book, it was actually from the moment I was born till my present day, right? And it was just flipping, flipping, flipping. And I was seeing all these scenes and people and things like that. When I came to and, came out of the hospital, I told my mom about this experience, and I was describing where I was, and I was in like my grandmother's house and great aunts, and I was not even a year old. And she verified, I saw paintings on the wall, pictures, the house decor. She verified that everything was accurate. So I had what was called a life review the first time. The second time was really, sort of the catalyst, because this was in 1990. Now, it was just a couple of years later. I was working in Manhattan, and I wasn't feeling well. I had like some upper respiratory something going on. I was taking medication, and lo and behold, I was having a reaction to one of these medications, and I had trouble breathing. I was getting hot. My heart was palpitating. So I got rushed to New York Cornell Hospital in New York City, and I went into ventricular cardiac arrest, and I flatlined. And I had an experience there of remembering going into the room, and then all of a sudden I was, on the ceiling, floating out of my body, looking down at myself on the, the stretcher in the emergency room, watching the doctors, work on me. And then the next thing you know, I was in what I would call, it was a tunnel, but it was sort of like if you've ever had an MRI. It was a smaller space, okay? It was very kind of contained. And I was on my back, going feet first, and I could see the light. The thing that kind of struck me the most about this experience is that I experienced this, what I call, white noise, right? I heard this very loud humming. There was like this vibration in the air. And it's so hard to explain because it's loud, but it's quiet at the same time. It's just this feeling of like you're vibrating, I guess. And this intense light, I didn't feel fear. I felt like joy. And I was anticipating, going where I was going, and I call it into the glow. And then as I went into that space, it was like my feet felt like I kind of went into jello. I kind of like, how like they kind of sunk into this white, glowing light. And at that moment is when they used the defibrillators to shock me back. And so I came back. But I remember, them working on me. I remember the feeling that I had. I was joyful. I was happy. I was at peace. I was anticipating, looking forward to getting where I was going. And, it felt like home to me. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. My mother actually had an experience like that, which she was up in the corner of the room looking at the doctors working on her there. Thank you. Can you share any memorable or profound experiences that you've had while providing psychic readings or connecting with spirit?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is.
I'm amazed because, I've been doing this for a while, and every time I do a reading, it's like I learn as well. So, as mediums, we come up with a certain, communication key. Each medium works differently, right? But sometimes, they give me information, and I don't know, maybe it's because I have a quirky personality. I think sometimes like they fool with me a little bit. But they give me information in some strange ways sometimes. But I remember, one of the ones that was pretty profound, as I was doing a grief retreat, and I remember this woman had lost her son, at a young age, and I was, pretty evidential. I had brought through his name, what he looked like, his personality, how he passed. But what was um, what was interesting is I kept seeing something that was done in his memory. And I said, I see like a write-up, but this is not like about his service. I said, there's a write-up, like a community-wide, I see like this write-up of him. And I said to her, I just, I want to say like he was remembered as a gentle soul. And those aren't really like my words, a gentle soul. Like I would come out with that. And she just like sucked in her breath, and come to find out the write-up that I was seeing was an article taken out in the local paper, and it was titled A Gentle Soul.
Wow.
So, it's things like that that were like, oh, like when I find myself saying things or talking in a strange way that I don't normally, use certain phrases that they're like, oh my God, that's exactly, what my mother used to say, like things like that. And strange. I think one of the strangest pieces of information is I saw, what are those called now? Fava beans. You know what fava beans are? I guess like Hannibal Lecter made them famous. It's like, so, my father used to make them. I know what fava beans are, but a lot of people don't know what they are. And I was talking to this elderly lady, and I'm like, and I had her husband. I'm like, why is he showing me fava beans? I was almost afraid of the answer. And then she's like, I eat them every day. I eat like 3 or 4 fava beans every day. I'm like, okay, it's just like sometimes it's like silly stuff. I was like, okay, it means something to you. But it just amazes me, because this isn't me, right? I'm the vessel. It just amazes me how intelligent spirit is. I mean, every time I walk away for a reading, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's something.
Yeah. Yeah. The energy that that comes in, the energy.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah. So let me ask you then, how do you approach skeptics or those who question the validity of psychic abilities?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a reason why I like doing the bigger demonstrations and the groups, right? Because that's normally where you're going to get your skeptics. That's going to be the husband that the wife pulled and made him come, to go see a medium, and he didn't want to be there. But it's, the evidence comes out and it's undeniable. So that's my favorite, and I've had, and this happens, I don't want to just, segregate men, but it just seems to me I have a lot more women, customers than men. But when those men that are sitting there like, oh gosh, this is a lot of baloney, right? And then I bring through their mother and say specific things, and they're just sitting there like, wow, I had no idea. So, it's hard, right? Because seeing is believing. I mean, we're analytical. We want the science-based facts, right? So that's why I love what I do, because I'm an evidential medium. I'm not going to give you a reading and say, oh, you have your grandmother. Lots of people have grandmothers, right? And she loved you and she was a great cook. I mean, come on, right? That's like just about every person's grandma, right? So it's when you hit them with that hard evidence that people really start to say, hey, this is real. This is real.
Right. Right. I do have a friend that's like, well, that would not apply to everybody.
Right.
That's exactly what she says there.
Right. And I've been there, done that. It's unfortunate, but the few pay the price for the many, because I'll go out there and say probably 75% at least of mediums and psychics are fraudulent, and that's just the sad fact.
Yeah, I think in every
Um,
profession, which is what I said, every profession is going to have some great, and some not so great.
right.
I would say every profession. Let me get one more in, and then I will ask the audience if ask the attendees if they have anything. As a
Sure.
psychic medium, what advice would you give to someone who is seeking guidance or looking to connect with a loved one who has passed away?
Well, Anybody can do this, okay? The key to it is a lot of people, especially those that are new in their grief, try to, oh, I just wish I could hear my husband's voice, or I wish I could know somehow that they're still around. What people don't understand is that to do this work, you have to be at a high vibration, right? So if you're in your grief, you're down. So you're not going to be able to make that connection. So there's the misconception where a lot of people, and a lot of mediums and psychics do this, and it works for a lot of people where, there's meditation and you quiet your mind and, you go quiet and you try to, and sometimes then that works for a lot of people. It does not work for me. I'm a little bit high strung, I guess, probably undiagnosed ADD, but I'm like very high energy. And before I do a reading or I do a group event, I'm playing like 80s music, like Good Vibrations by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I'm like getting riled up, right? Because I'm happy, or I'm looking at pictures of my dogs or my children or my husband. I'm trying to be happy and uplifting because that allows the connection. So I would just recommend find that place of love and happiness that resonates with you, whether it's music, whether it's connecting with nature, but you've got to be in a place where you're having those happy, good vibes to make the connections with those in spirit.
That's perfect. We've been talking about our vibration in the community for quite some time now. And raising our vibration. Let me ask anybody, not necessarily the readings yet, but are there any questions from anybody at this point in time?
Well, I do have a question, actually. Can
Okay,
you hear
go
me?
ahead. Yes.
You mentioned, Connie, the the white noise, and for probably a couple months, I've noticed that I'm hearing it in my ears. It's constant kind of vibration. I kind of was Googling and seeing, if other people have had that experience, and it's some people say it is due to your ascending
Getting tuned
spirit
in.
somewhat.
Yeah, you're getting tuned in.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I love
yeah.
that. I never hadn't heard it explained that way. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
It's like
cool.
they're tuning you in. Yeah, every once in a while too. I mean, I still do. Like I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden it's like, I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And I've had my ears checked out. They work fine, So yeah, you'll hear that. It's just kind of you're getting tuned
Yeah,
in.
it's there. I'll probably, if it goes away, I'll probably miss it.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. Marla.
Thank you. Um, I've been in rooms and I've had a medium, share a message from my mom. I heard other messages. My question is really around the messages feel very generic. Is there a way when you're getting the message to get them to get more specific? And I can give you a for instance. So randomly a year ago, my mom came through in a group thing and she more or less was like, the old you is gone, you've got nothing but choices in an open field. And I'm like, yeah, I got that. I've been sitting in my dark night of the soul for 2 years. So it's like the real question is there a way to get the message sort of more detailed? Not, when you're past the prove to me you believe it, and you're really leaning in and you're doing your meditation practice and you're doing everything quietly yourself, but you're going to an expert like yourself, Connie, to get what it is you can't hear.
Right.
So does that make sense? Does that question
It
make sense?
does, and there's a couple of different schools of thought on that. So a lot of the times, and I'm one that believes this way, that the message is more in the evidence that comes through, right? So the purpose of the spirit communication is really to validate that your loved ones are still with us. And they do that by giving specific evidence. This is really me. This is really me here because this is my name and this is where I lived and this is how I passed and I had 3 children and I've given all this stuff, right? sometimes the message is there and sometimes it's not. But for a medium, they can only give what they get.
Got it.
So we can't, and that's what, we're just the go-between. So sometimes, and it kind of sounds a little bit like what you're saying is sometimes a medium, it may be the end of the message. They've made their connection. Sometimes they may get a psychic feeling about what's going to, and because that to me sounds like, a little bit of a psychic kind of prediction of what you're going through and kind of picking up on your energy. And sometimes that happens. They'll flip between bringing the person in and then give a little psychic too. So there's a lot of different answers to that. A lot of people, call me and they think that it's going to be like, they come and they're like, well, I have 10 questions I want you to ask. So it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? I can't just, and I mean, sometimes in the middle, they'll ask a question and sometimes I will get an answer, but mostly it's like they do the talking and I just listen and relay. So, and we don't control it. So that's another point I wanted to bring up. If you ever seek out a medium and they tell you, oh yeah, I can connect with your mother, I can do that. We don't control that. Okay.
Thank you. I really appreciate, I
Yeah.
appreciate the clarity and the honesty because it like it was a mixed thing between, cards and a mediumship and
yes, that's what it sounded like when you said that. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marla. Connie, so on that note, there is I'm gonna say it too. Yeah, I'm like, okay, a sign here and there. Okay, give me something more, baby. Give me something. I want to see it.
Right.
And so, is this our frustration? And we always seem to want more, but practice. If I continue to practice and continue to raise my vibration and just be with the energy of this love.
Right.
I just think that, not that I'm in the field, but yeah, I just wondered, is practice something that would
It is, but there's a lot of different factors, energy being the main component, right? So we're all energetic human beings. So when a medium does a reading, they're raising their vibration, like I said, and your person in spirit has to lower their vibration. And where we meet in the middle is where the communication takes place. That's why you hear those phrases in between two worlds, where two worlds meet in the middle, right? So think about how many people have seen that movie Ghost, right? With Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Swayze. Remember how difficult it was for him to move the penny and to do the things on the earth plane. He was trying to get her attention. Well, that's physical mediumship, but it's the same principle. He had to lower his vibration to the earth plane to make those things happen. So it's the same thing when mediumship happens. But having saying that, your person in spirit has to feel comfortable. If I'm the medium, they have to feel comfortable with me. So it's the energy between me, you, and your person. So for me, for instance, I do very well with people of ethnic backgrounds, right? My father's from Italy. I have a big Italian family. So these big families, Italian, Jewish, Puerto Rican, whatever, I'm loud. These kinds of families, they like me because they understand me. So I do well. Sometimes I notice if somebody's very, very quiet and timid, I might not be the right medium because I'm a little, loud and I'm strong energy the way that I go. And there are other mediums that are a little bit softer and they may be a better fit. It's got to mesh energetically. So that's not saying that I wouldn't give a good reading, but I may give a good reading, but maybe things that are more spirits that are more comfortable with, that may be the wow reading, right? So it just all depends on the energy.
That's great clarification.
The other thing
Thank
that
you.
prohibits that too is, and this happens all the time, especially, in groups and private readings, but, everybody comes to a reading wanting to hear usually from one specific person, right? And so they have that in their mind. I'm going to hear from this person. And so the medium's talking and they're saying blah, 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 blah. And they're like, nope, 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 nope. Meanwhile, you wanted to hear from your mom and I have your grandfather, but you're not hearing it because you've got mom, 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 mom. A lot of of the times, and especially the way that I work, my elders come first and I come down. A lot of the times someone else that maybe you wouldn't even expect, it could be a neighbor, will open the door for the person that you're hoping to hear from. So you've got to listen to the evidence and cast your net out wide, right? Because we're all connected by our little bands of light, right? Has anybody read Laura Lynn Jackson's The Light Between Us? She's one of my colleagues. Yep. So we're all connected, right? So anybody that you've come across, it could be a neighbor, it could be your teacher, it could be, a friend that you grew up with, anybody, could be your mailman, it could be a doctor that you had, could come through in a reading. And it doesn't matter whether you didn't know them. I get that a lot too. Like it's a grandmother. Well, I never met them. They died before I was born. It doesn't matter. They know you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really pretty great clarification there. Let's get to Shayna. Shayna has a question. Shayna? Not sure how to pronounce it.
Sorry, it's Shayna. You're right. I was
Shayna.
trying to come on mute.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shayna.
So my question is I've always had a little bit of a strong gift for for the mediumship and things like that. I think everybody can do it. I think some people are born with it. And I think I was born with it. And I have always used it in my world here and there. I owned a tutoring company. I do real estate now. But I've gotten this push by spirit to move forward and explore it on a deeper level. And I have no idea where to begin with how to explore it, because it's always been kind of just me doing me, So
Right.
do you have any advice as to how I would
Sure.
pursue that?
Sure. If you're looking to take classes, and be like in small groups of people kind of in the same, level that you're at, and to kind of learn and to practice, I would recommend The Journey Within. It's a spiritual church based out of New Jersey. One of my teachers was Janet Nohavik. Sadly, she passed about a year or so ago, but she's the founder. She was a former Catholic nun for several years, and she was one of the best mediums that I've ever seen, and she inspired me to do this work. But they have classes there online, all levels, psychic classes, mediumship classes. They have a lot of well-known mediums that teach classes there, like Tony Stockwell. Joe Shield is now the pastor there. He's a spiritual artist. John Holland will teach there. They've got a lot of great mediums that teach there. So I would recommend looking them up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Tim, we'll get you in a moment here. Tammy asks a quiet question. Can the living's thought come to our mind just like the dead? I do not understand that. Do you, Connie? Can the living's thoughts come to our mind just like the dead?
Okay, so like a telepathic communication, or someone, is that the question?
I don't know what you call
Okay.
it. I think it's living people because of how they're talking to me. And this is new for me. I'm just learning this awakening.
So there is telepathy, so you can pick on another person's thoughts. I've done this, and I know this to be true. People that are in a state of coma, or perhaps even like Alzheimer's, dementia, that could be in an altered state of consciousness. You can communicate with those just as you would with the deceased, because of their state of altered consciousness.
Thank you very much. That completely cleared it up. I'm a critical care nurse, and
There it is.
used to scare me. Used to scare
Kim,
me.
you should talk with Tammy there. Kim, you and Tammy probably have a good conversation there. Kim, let's go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I believe a lot of this, and I think I've seen, been a witness to a lot of things, seen some stuff, being a nurse. But my question is about, can any of this stuff, because I feel like I hear stuff and I see stuff in my dreams.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's like considered like a visitation, but they're almost like, warning stuff. But I can actually hear my mother's voice, and she's alive. I've heard my grandfather's voice, and he wasn't alive. Weird things like that. So does it cross over into your dreams?
Absolutely. So a lot of spirit communication does start off with dreams, and it could be, a dream of something to come. It could be a premonition. It could be a warning. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mhm. Great questions. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Connie, how do you protect yourself energetically when you're doing these readings?
Yeah, so that's a good question. When I first started doing this, I started out reading, tarot cards, and I would do, large groups and parties and events and things like that. And I would leave there and be sick for like 3 days. Like I had the flu, I couldn't move. And I didn't understand at the time that, I was picking up everybody's energy. I didn't understand also as a young person, I never liked, going into big department stores, like with all the people or the crowd. I would feel ill, I'd feel nauseous, and I just didn't know why, but I pick up everybody's energy. So what I do when I do my reading, I just say my own personal kind of mantra or prayer, I ask that, I believe in God, so I ask God, Jesus, to protect my energy, to make sure that that I am getting clear and concise information, that I am, the vessel in between, that, I'm making sure that I'm being of highest service to the person in spirit and the person I'm giving the reading to. But I kind of imagine almost like being zipped up, right? So I just say, protect my energy. And I kind of in my mind imagine just a zipper zipping up all my chakra centers. That way I know that, my energy is protected. And I also, part of that is setting boundaries, because it used to be, I used to wake up in the middle of the night and sense spirit. And it's, it didn't scare me, but, that feeling like there's something there or someone there, right? So I'd wake up and go, ooh, and scare the bejeebies out of my husband, So I had to start saying, don't bother me when I'm sleeping, right? Only come when, I'm doing a reading when I need you to come, and then leave me alone. I don't be walking around hearing or seeing you.
Yeah.
So that's also
That's
part of protecting your energy. Yeah.
It is. It's a very important part of what you do. I
Sure.
don't do the readings, obviously, but I do offer energy workshops and different things like that. And even with the protection that I do, and that, I need a down day afterwards, because
Sure.
and depending on the group that I'm with, you can really feel some heavy energy sometimes, and it does, it wipes me out. So I just can't, I would just think that is really huge for you to do
Yeah,
as far as
it's
your
training.
well-being.
And the large groups or the gallery events, I'll leave there. And usually I know, I have a good hour where I'm still up there, I'm still,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
I'll crash, and that's it. I'm done, good night.
Great, great, great. Beautiful. So when I just wanted to hear how you describe the process you go through when you receive the information. It's just or messages from the spirit realm. How do you know it's them and not you? Your
Well, that's all
thoughts.
part of, training and, getting out of your own way, out of your ego, putting your ego aside. The key to it is when you're a medium, it's two-way communication, right? So I can say to them, I need you to be here. I trust that you're going to be here. And you build this rapport, as you do this more and more. And like I said, your symbols start to grow, your little toolbox of what means what. And even now they still grow every day. And then it's like, oh, okay, that's what that means. And then I'll know the next time I do a reading, I see this symbol, that's what that means, you just trust and you just trust that you have spirit there. And a lot of the times it's like, I'll say, for me, sometimes they'll give me something and maybe, you know, my sitter will be like, no, I don't understand that. And I'll go on and I'll go on. But in the back of my mind, it bothers me, right? Because I don't like when I can't place it. And then sure enough, they'll come around with something else. Like, that's what you were trying to say, you know? So so it's kind of like I say to them, when you're ready, give me something else so we can make sure this is, you know, my sitter understands. I don't want to, a lot of the times too, you know, and having said that, getting a reading can be overwhelming. Okay. I'm a fast talker. And a lot of times I'm throwing information and I'm throwing months and things like that. And the person will be like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And that's fine. And then I'll get an email the next day. Everything made sense. You know, I understand those names. I understand, you know, because it's an overwhelming experience and you're in the spur of the moment and you're like kind of put on the spot, like, oh my gosh, you know, so sometimes you have to sit with it, you know, and process it. So a lot of the times when I do Zoom readings, I will ask if they want it recorded and I'll send it back to them so they can kind of listen to it again. And then maybe things will, you know, they're not in that moment, right? And don't feel that pressure. And then things will kind of make sense.
Yeah, for sure. I am definitely a sit with things, and because like,
Yeah.
and most things, and like, why didn't I think to do that then? I just don't think on my feet like that. Two more quick questions before we get to the readings, etc.
Sure.
How do you handle difficult or sensitive situations when you're delivering these messages to clients? Like, how do you provide support and comfort during those moments?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Some readings, you know, all passings are sad or tragic, and some more so than others, especially when you're dealing with young children or tragic accidents, suicides, things like that. You know, they can be sensitive. I try to be, I'll give you an example because it may come up today. A lot of the times when we're talking about suicide, I will get a certain feeling and I will say, you know, this person says that they're sorry for the manner in which they left this world, or they can take some responsibility for the way that they left this world, you know, so that we know we're talking about suicide, you know, without coming, well, you know, this person killed themselves, you know, that's a little crass, you know what I mean? So I try to, you know, say things in a certain way that kind of ease in, and just so that people, you know, get the understanding without coming out and saying it, for those types of situations. If somebody is extremely upset and crying and can't, you know, I will suggest that we stop the reading and reschedule it, because you're not going to get the benefit and the healing that comes from a reading if you are so immersed in your grief. You know, you've got to be ready for this. A lot of people ask me, well, when is a good time? This will maybe another question, I don't know, but people ask me, how long do you have to wait, you know, before somebody passes that you can communicate with them? Okay. In my opinion, immediately. If they've passed a minute later, I could probably communicate with them, right? There's not a waiting time. The waiting time is for the people that are left behind, so that you can feel that you're in a good place, that you can handle this. Because, you know, I may bring up their name, I may bring up memories, I may bring up something you did for them in their memory, and that's going to touch your heart. So you just have to make sure that you are physically and mentally and emotionally prepared.
And does this go for animals as well?
Absolutely. I get a lot of animals. I've rescued dogs my whole life. I've got 2 currently, so especially the dogs, but I get all sorts of animals. Yeah.
One more last quick one. In your opinion, what's the biggest misconception or stereotype about psychics and mediumship work?
Well, I think, you know, it's that they think that people are fraudulent, that they're making this up. And you know, a lot of people do. So, you know, The Medium Explosion is a book by Robert Ginsburg, who's the founder of the Forever Family Foundation. Very good to read about what to look for in a medium. But like I said, if somebody says, oh yeah, you know, I can talk to that person. Another thing to remember when you contact a medium, don't give them any information. Don't write that email. I want to talk to you because I lost my mom. She had lung cancer. It was 3 years, her name was Mary. Don't, because then you've just given the medium all the information. So how do you know that they're authentic? Just like, when you schedule with me, you pay for your session. I get the order number. I'll say I have these dates available, and I just write your first name down and your telephone number so that I know where to call you or Zoom, that's all I want to know. I don't want to know anything about you.
It's true. Yeah. We were discussing about adding you to the community.
That's right. Yeah.
And she said, you know what? No, because there might be somebody on there and she don't want to know anything. She wants to
Right.
do it now.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a few more questions? Do you want to get to readings? I don't know how much time you have
Up to you.
available.
Does anybody have
Any
other
last questions before we get to the readings? I think we're looking for readings here. So how do you handle that?
I have
Maria?
it's Marla. I have a follow on to what you were just saying about it's the person who stayed, as far as the length of time.
Right.
Do you find that when someone comes to you and it's been an extended, like decades since the loss, that their vibration being higher and the energy coming through, that they're able to connect with the information in a clearer way?
No, I don't think that matters. I think it has to do actually with that person, and again, that personality and how we kind of mesh together. Because there's sometimes, I'll have like these like stellar readings. I'm like, wow, this guy like gave me like everything, and then sometimes I feel like I got to coax the information out. So it's not based on how long they've been gone. It's based on their personality and how my energy mixes with their energy.
Great, thank you. Sorry, Jen,
No, that was a real good,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, what a great little question there. And I thought it was that going to be, yeah.
I just
I
want
think
to
we
say
could.
one thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to say one
No.
thing. So I'm surprised the question didn't come up about reincarnation. A lot of people ask, do I believe in reincarnation? Yes, I know my Catholic upbringing, those nuns would probably hit me over the head with a ruler, but based on my experience and what I know, yes. So the question I always get is, well, if my person reincarnates, how do you communicate with them, right? And the answer is that when someone passes, again, this is my belief system, what I've been made by my spirit team and my experiences, that the person has the choice of whether to come back and to, try to achieve, a higher level of, spirituality, or they can stay there and you can progress on the other side as well. But just
cool. I like that second option.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, people have jobs on the other side. Yeah, they have jobs. They can become a guide. There's like, there's stuff to do over there. Believe me, I see it all the time. But just a little piece of your soul comes back into another human body. So it's like the main soul remains with the collective soul so that we can always connect to it. So that's how we deal with reincarnation.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going to turn it over to you,
Okay.
Connie, and you can go about your readings however you want to
sip first
do
here. I get very thirsty when I talk, so. All right. So what I'd like you all to do is to go ahead and put your intentions out there for your loved ones to join us. I'm going to do the same. Again, I want you to cast that net wide and be open to anyone that comes, because like I said, sometimes people open the door for the person you're hoping to hear from. What I also would like to do is, on the count of 3, I'd like you all to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Great. Okay, so that's pretty much what it sounds like in my head all the time, all those voices going, but I like to do that to kind of raise the vibration up, okay? All right, so I've got some people waiting to be heard here. So right away, I'm going to talk about this lovely lady that I have. She lets me know that she's mom for somebody. I have to thank the lady that's here for the care that you gave her while she was transitioning. I do know that she was bedridden when she passed, and I do know that she was between 85 and 95 when she passed. She lets me know that also that there are complications in her lung area. So there was fluid or trouble breathing in the end. This could possibly be lung cancer, as she makes me understand this. Who understands this as mom? Mary, do you understand this? Oh, you're on mute. Mary, you're on mute. Oh, you're still on mute.
No. Okay, now can
There
you
you
hear me?
go. Do you understand this, Mary? I
Yes,
felt drawn
yes.
to you.
Oh, I can't get it off me.
There
Okay,
you
now
are.
can
We
you hear
hear
me?
you. Yes.
So my mom was 95
Do
and
you,
she passed 6 months ago.
okay, don't give me too much information. You understand the problems with the lungs or lung cancer?
No lung cancer. She did have asthma.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I know there's something going on with her lungs. Do you understand a connection to a name like Elizabeth for someone here or past? And it could be a
Yeah.
middle name. I have the E, so it's Ellen, Elizabeth, first, middle, or last name.
Mine begins with E, but it's not Elizabeth.
Perfect. That's okay. I have the E connection, the name, first, middle, last name. Do you understand that she wants to thank you for the care that you gave her while she was transitioning? Okay.
I can't
And
believe that.
I do feel also that she's letting me know she was bedridden. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yep.
And she also was talking about knee surgery. So who had the knee surgery?
She did.
Perfect. Yes. So she's just telling me a little bit about herself. She's also giving me the month of February as significant. Do you understand February as a birthday, passing, or anniversary?
My brother's birthday.
Perfect. And do you understand the name Michael?
Yes.
Okay. Who's Michael that she wants to acknowledge?
My husband.
Okay. He's also passed, Mary Jo?
No.
He's here. Okay. She wants to acknowledge him, and there's a great fondness for him. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yep.
And she's also thanking him for his care, because I feel like she was a bit of a handful and that he was there by your side also caring for her. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand the connection to like Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, that part of the country?
Yes.
Okay. So she's showing me that as well. And she's showing me, I know we're in Florida, but I see winters. I see snow and winter memories. You understand that?
Yep.
Okay. Now who's William or Bill?
Geez, I think that would be my grandfather's
Oh.
brother.
Okay. And do you have a Tom?
No.
Thomas. Okay. So do you have a dad that's passed?
Yes.
Okay. Why would he show me a train?
Hmm.
Do you have a
I
memory of
don't
a
know.
train or subway? So when I see the name Thomas, it's Thomas the train. I want you to think about that. It could be somebody's middle name or a street name with Thomas in it, like Thomasville, Thomas something. Okay, that's okay. You can think about it. It'll come later. Your mom is talking about China. You have her China?
My brother.
Okay, yep. So I know the China. And I'm also seeing September. So do you understand September as a significant month for a birthday, passing, or anniversary?
No.
That's okay. Think about September or the number 9 in the date. So 9/19/29.
9/19/29.
The only other way that I could take that, and these are like my symbols, so September 9, or you have a piece of jewelry that has a blue stone in it. So think about that. It'll make sense later. Your mom is also showing me a cat. Did she have a cat?
Years, yes.
Yeah,
years
there's a
ago.
cat. And I just want to verify too, because my cat is also the name for Catherine. Is there a Catherine?
Let's see. Catherine. No.
That's okay. I'm going to take it as the cat. She showed me the cat. I just want to make sure I'm not ever looking. I have to talk about one more name. I have Bobby.
Yes.
Bobby?
My brother's
Okay.
girlfriend.
Perfect. So she wants to acknowledge her as well. But I want to say that your mom, she's very sweet. I know that she wants to, again, she just comes through with so much gratitude because she's saying because of you, she was able to stay in the home. Do you understand that? Because
Yes.
I feel like she passed in the home as she makes me understand that. And it was because of you and the care that you gave her. So she's coming forth with so much love and so much gratitude. So I'm going to leave her with all her love.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Let me take another sip of my vodka. Just kidding. My vitamin water. Okay. All right. I have to talk about, I have a name like Louise. Who understands this name? That's where I'm going next. Anybody understand Louise?
I have a Louise. This is
Okay,
Shayna.
Shanna. Okay, is this person in spirit?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Do you understand that she lets me know she had some years left? So I want to put her like mid 60s to late 70s when she passed.
No, that doesn't relate.
Okay, let me just feel her for a second. I'm going to ask her 1 second to go to a side for a minute because I have another gentleman coming in for you. Do you have a dad in spirit?
No.
Okay, this father makes me feel like dad or stepdad or granddad, but I'm on your mother's side of the family.
Okay.
What do you understand that? Do you understand granddad?
Yes, my mom's dad then.
Okay, do you understand he had a military connection?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. He's going to come. He just barreled in when I was trying to talk about Louise. And I feel like he had that type of personality. He kind of like commands the room as he shows it to me, okay?
Okay.
I also have a name that starts with an M, like a Mary or a Marie. Do you understand that name?
No, not right now.
Okay, that's okay. Just sit with that. Now, this Louise, she feels to me, she's kind of letting me know again, I'm in the breast, lung, chest area with her. Do you understand that?
I'm not sure of her cause of death. She was my great aunt.
Okay, okay. I felt like it was an aunt. Who's the school teacher?
I taught school.
Okay, perfect. So she's letting me know that she
Um,
knows about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was
She's
another
also
family death that was a teacher.
perfect. Okay. I also want to talk about twins. Are there twins in your family?
Not in my family. I know where
Okay.
the M is.
Okay, perfect. The twins are either in your family or if you're married, your husband's family, there's twins.
Family friends have twins.
Okay, all right. I just see them connected to you. So I want to talk about a lady that I have here that I feel like her passing was unexpected, okay? And I'm sorry I'm jumping around, but you have a couple people I want to acknowledge. I feel like this was something unexpected, okay? And this is like something like a heart attack or an aneurysm, something out of the blue. Do you understand this?
I'd have to think about that. I mean, there's been some quick deaths, but they've been maybe quick meaning couple months unexpected. Like,
Okay, but do you understand the heart problems?
that's my grandfather that
Okay,
would have had
the
a heart
first one that I
problem.
brought through? Okay.
Yeah, he had a stroke.
Okay, perfect. Okay, because I was getting that like aneurysm. Okay, so I want to talk about him because he just keeps butting in and wants to make himself known. He's showing me like golden retrievers or lab types of dogs. Do you understand that?
No.
Okay, do you have a larger dog that's like, 30, 40 pounds? Brown?
No, my mom did when she was younger. She had a
Okay.
A boxer.
Okay, all right. I see a medium dog up there. Okay, and I want to say your grandfather is with it. He also shows me horses. Now, why would he show me horses?
I have no idea.
Okay, so the horse to me, is there a name like Ed? Edward, Edie?
I'm trying to think on that side of the family.
Okay, it doesn't have to be on that
There-
side of the family in general. There's an Ed name, or my horse symbol means upstate New York or Kentucky. Do you have connections to any of that?
No, New England, but not Kentucky
No?
or New
Okay, I'm
York.
gonna I don't know why he's showing me the horse, so that usually means there's an actual horse, a horse in spirit, or a memory with you riding a horse.
I'll ask
and-
my mom.
Okay.
Because I never met my grandfather, so he
Okay,
died before
that's
I was
fine.
born. So I didn't
That's
know a lot
fine.
of that.
Okay, do you understand, Shayna, that you have a friend in spirit that's a female?
I have several.
Okay, do you understand that this particular friend passed younger? I'm going to put her under 50 when she passes.
I'd
Or
have to
right
think
around
about that.
50. She looks younger. She looks like 48 to 55, I guess I'll put her. This particular lady tells me she had breast cancer.
That could be on my mom's side. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. She wants to make herself known to let me know that, to let you know that she's doing okay. I also want to talk about a younger male in spirit under the age of 20. Do you understand that?
Gosh, I'd have to think about that. I don't know. I mean, I know some young people that died. Yes.
Okay.
Under
This
the age of
was an
20,
accident.
probably.
Yep, this was an accident from what I understand. And he lets me know he was here 1 minute and gone to the next. I feel like this was like a family friend or a connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
Okay, you've got like a bunch of people floating around, so I'm just gonna leave them with all their love with you. So just for the sake of time, so I can try to get to as many people as
Yes.
possible, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Yep. All right. I want to talk about a gentleman that I have here. He's a little bit on the taller side, so I'd say he's between 5'10", maybe 6 foot tall. He's got a good build on him. He did have a military connection. I feel like this is dad for somebody, or possibly father-in-law. He also lets me know the month of March is significant for someone's birthday, passing, or anniversary. He did pass. I'm going to put him between 76 and 84. I don't think he made it to 85. Who understands this as a dad figure? Anybody? Dad, stepdad, or granddad?
My papa.
Your father?
My papa.
Your papa, is that a grandfather for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and that's Tamara, right?
Tamara.
Tamara, okay. And is this on your mom's side?
No,
Okay, do you also have a grandfather on your mom's side?
yes.
Yeah, okay. That's sometimes I get the dueling grandfathers and grandmoms. So this person though that comes through your papa, he's very, very close to you. And I feel like he's like like he would have spoiled you. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's coming through. He's very funny. And I also feel like he would have done like little magic tricks or just little silly stuff. I feel him to be very like very hands-on, like engaging with you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand the March connection?
Not off the top of
Birthday
my head.
passing. Okay. Are you one of 3 children?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that would be the 3 or the March. He's also showing me a name that begins with a D, like David, Dee Dee, Daniel. Do you understand that?
Not right away.
Okay, so D, first, middle, or last names, okay? And then he is showing me also, why would he show me a hibiscus? Do you know what that is, that flower?
Uh-huh.
Does that have meaning for you?
Other than he loved to plant plants,
Perfect, okay, he's showing me
and
the flowers.
he stormed Normandy in World War II.
All right, don't give me too much
Oh,
information.
sorry.
But all right, he's showing me the flower, okay?
Mhm.
I also want to say that the grandmother attached to this father's also passed, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you understand a name like Anne? I have Anne.
A lot of them.
Okay.
I know both do.
Let's see here. Do you understand a younger male in spirit as well, under the age of 30?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that this is a tragic passing and something out of the blue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I understand from him that he's given me a bit of a heaviness in his feeling with him. So I understand that he had some struggles while he was here. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so I get this feeling a lot. Do you understand that he either had some kind of depression or addiction or both?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so he's letting me know he's coming forth with, he's giving me my symbol where he's throwing a quarter in the air, and you know, when the quarter lands, you're going to get heads or tails. So that lets me know that depending on who he's talking to, you're going to see one version of him or another. You understand that with him?
Yes.
Okay, he's very bright, okay, and he lets me know that he had, you know, a solid family around him. But I do want to bring forth his apology because I do feel like he says he can take responsibility for what happened to him. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. He also wants to say thank you for something was planted in his memory, like a tree. Do you understand
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Yeah. So he sees that, okay, and he's aware of that. I'm getting the D name attached to him somehow. I have to go back to that. So I just want to say that again.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. See,
And they hung out in life. Yes.
There you go. Yeah, I feel like it's a friend or something. Yes. So he's letting me know that. And I also do see a dog with him, a bigger dog.
Yes.
Okay, so he's showing me that he's with his pal there. I also want to say with him, did he have a sister as well?
Yes.
Yep, he wants to acknowledge his sister, and he also wants to talk about is there a name like Margaret? Mary
Alive?
Margaret? No, it doesn't have to be alive.
It was a patient family member.
Okay, Mary or Margaret, right? I have that name.
Yes.
Okay, she's coming through because I understand with her, she's kind of saying, this is what she's saying. She says, I'm at peace now. I'm at peace now. This makes me understand that she had something that was long-term or was taking a little while. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, so she's kind of letting me know that there, and she's giving me the number 3. So I don't know if you were her caregiver, but there's 2 or 3 people that she says she needs to thank. I feel like there's a rotation somehow. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so she's showing me that, and she's telling me I had excellent care. She also was, she's very lovely. I do feel her to be a woman of faith. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, she shows me a cross, so I know there would have been a cross on her or a Bible next to her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know exactly
So
who you're speaking of.
Perfect. Okay, so she is showing me, and my symbol is like for amazing grace. So I know that she made peace with her situation, and she was very comfortable with her passing. She lets me know that also that I do feel her to kind of just go to sleep as she makes me show it as she passed. So she just was very heavily medicated to be comfortable, and she passed in her sleep. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So she wants to just say, again, thank you for the love, for the care, and for making everything so, pleasant for her and her experience. She's also showing me, she's really, I don't know why, but she is showing me you just gave her extra attention, and she is showing you kind of putting like a extra blanket around her feet, because I feel like her feet were cold.
Yes.
Yeah. So she wants to, again, thank you again for all the love and care that you gave her. So I'm going to leave all your people there with all their love. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So I want to talk about a female that I have here. I do feel that she passed younger. I'm going to put her maybe in her 60s, possibly early 70s, as she makes me show it. I want to say this is mom, or she was a mom at least. And I do feel like she gives me the impression that this is some sort of blood-related disease, like a cancer. And I get the impression that this is a late diagnosis. And when she finds out, things move pretty quickly. So who understands this lady? You do, Maria? Okay. Is this the mom for you?
Yes, and it's Marla. I'm sorry, there's an L.
Oh,
Yeah.
Marla, I have bad eyes. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I do too. That's why it's not a big deal.
So this is mom, right?
Yes. She was
Okay, she makes me,
67.
she makes me understand. You understand the age, maybe in her mid-60s or so?
Yeah, she was 67. She died of cancer. So you got both of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So she makes me understand that, she's kind of like giving herself a little kick, because I understand from her that she had some very light symptoms, but she's saying to me like, wow, I was just getting older. I was feeling a little tired. These female things are
Yes.
happening, right?
Yes.
Because I do feel like this is female related as well. Do you understand that?
It was ovarian cancer, and yes, she
There you
did.
go. Yes.
She
Yes.
didn't for a year take care of it. So
Yeah, yeah. That's how she makes me feel, because I feel like this is all like I'm getting older. There's female stuff going on. I'm not really suspecting anything's wrong, so I didn't go get it checked out. And when I found out, it was, pretty progressed. She is thanking you again for the care that you gave her, but also because this was like she's calling you like the warrior. And the way that I want to, showing it to me is you're online and you're researching every possible thing that you can do for her, whether it's like homeopathic, whether it's new treatment, you're calling every other person, you're having her see different doctors. Do you understand all of this?
yes, you're on. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's showing me that you are like, fighting tooth and nail for her. And she's just so appreciative that she does show me that she did lose her hair. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Okay.
she did.
And she wants to thank you because I do feel like you would have either put a wrap or a wig as she shows it to me. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And she is showing me that you were painting her nails.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So she wants to thank you, for all the love that you gave. And she says you had to stop. I don't know if you had to stop work or take time for work, but she's just showing like a change in your schedule to accommodate her.
Yes.
I'm seeing the change in location as she shows it to me. So that means either she moved in with you or you were at her place all the time. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I was a teenager. I came home from college to take care of her.
Okay, that would be the break that I saw. You had to change your schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's showing me that and that you were, right there all the time. She gives me July as being significant. Do you understand July for a birthday, passing, or anniversary?
She died at the cusp of July, August. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I also want to talk about white roses. Does that mean something?
No, that I haven't ever gotten.
Okay. Is the name Rose mean anything?
That was her last name.
Oh my goodness, there it is. Okay. So again, she's just really coming in strong and identifying herself, but really she's just coming with so much love because at such a young age, you had to be on your own, she's telling me.
Yeah.
She's also talking about there's a change in direction after all of this with you at school. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so she's acknowledging that, and she says it everything happens for a reason, and this was actually kind of put you on your path. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. She gives me the number 2. Do you have 2 children?
No, no.
Okay, were you one of 2?
There's 2 of us left. She and my
Okay,
sister
perfect.
passed
Okay.
together.
Okay, so you have a sister that's passed, is that what you said?
Yes, they usually
Okay.
come through together. Yeah.
Okay, let me just feel for a second here.
Mhm.
There is the unexpected feeling with her. Do you understand that? Okay, and I
Yes.
do know again that she's telling me I'm here 1 minute and gone the next. Okay,
Yes.
I do also have the heaviness with her, so I have to feel like she does want to say I'm sorry, because she's acknowledging that you, again, she just put that warrior title on you. You're the strength of the family out of all of you, okay? She just wants to say I'm sorry because you were there for her all the time. She's telling me that she's also saying sorry because the way that I want to say it, she shows it to me. She says, I'm talking the talk, right? She's talking the talk, but she's not walking the walk. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So she's very pretty, very lovely girl, and she can be very charming. So she made you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm straightening myself out. I'm straightening myself out. But, you know, she's apologizing. And she just wants to know. She's also showing something that's engraved with her name on it. Do you understand that? Is there a tattoo or something that's engraved with her name on it? Okay. Was she
No.
cremated?
No.
Okay. Ooh, I have something that shows like in loving memory and then the name.
That's her, there's a stone as opposed to
Uh-huh.
there's a marker on her grave as opposed to a stone.
Okay, I know it's not the regular because I'm not going to say tombstone. That's not what I want to say. There's
No, there's a
something else
marker. They
engraved.
both have just markers and they're together. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So she's acknowledging that. Okay. She's also sending you rainbows. Okay, so I know that you understand that. Okay, and she's confirming, yes, that's me. That's me. Okay, so yes, your mom and your sister are together. And also there's a bird with them. Did you ever have a bird?
No, but growing up, there was a red robin that annoyed the heck out of my mom in the rec room window for years.
Okay, yeah, there's a bird there. So I see the
Yeah.
bird, so you would understand the significance there.
Yeah.
They're both doing well. They're both very lovely. So I'm going to leave them with all their love.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay. How am I on time, Jen?
You're on your own here, girl. I'm gonna let you go until you
Okay.
tell me you're tired.
Let me try to get, let's see what else I can get here. Okay, I have a gentleman here, all right? He lets me know that he had heart issues, okay? So he would have been on high cholesterol, high blood pressure medicine. I also feel that he would have had heart surgery or stents, okay? Because he is showing my symbol for stents. Feel like this is dad or father-in-law for someone. Could possibly even be husband. I'm not quite sure of the relationship yet. Who understands this? He's passing between 69 and 79. I don't feel like he made it to 80. Anybody
Grandfather.
understand this? Okay. Do you understand, Kimberly, the connection to a name like Robert? Bob, Bobby, Robert, Robertson. Okay, I want you to think about this. So this is grandfather for you. Do you understand a connection to, like, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm like Georgia, Tennessee. I'm kind of in that area. Do you understand that? I'm north of Florida.
No,
Is there anybody that has a name like George or Georgia? Or
I don't think
John?
so.
No, do you understand John?
Yeah,
Okay, who is John then?
his son.
Okay, I'll take that. I'm going to tell you how I got there. So when I see up from Florida, and I'm bad with my geography, Georgia could also mean the name Georgia. But when I see Tennessee, it means the name John for me, for Johnny Cash. So if you're wondering how all that jumble got there, that's how I got there. Okay, my
Okay.
symbols. Okay. So what I want to say with him is I understand he was in the military as well.
Yes.
Okay. But I also feel like that he was an outdoorsman. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, because he is showing me like a gun, so he would have like hunting and fishing and, or you know, one or both. He's just kind of giving me that feeling. Okay. Now, do you have a male on your level that has passed, either a brother or a husband or a significant other?
No.
Okay, he's bringing a younger male forward. Okay, that's also passed. Okay, but I want to put him that he passed younger. I'm going to put him between 50s and 60s when he passes. Is that making sense? It doesn't have to be connected to that family. I just have this other gentleman coming through.
Not that I can think of.
That's okay. I also want to say, do you have a mom that's passed, Kimberly?
No.
A mother-in-law?
Yes.
Okay. I want to, because I have a mom-like figure for you. She thinks very highly of you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to say with her, she's very interesting, this lady that I have to bring forward, your mother-in-law. Okay. Because I feel like she's a bit quirky. Do you understand that? So she's kind
Yeah.
of very matter of fact, like she'll give you your opinion whether you want it or not. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And she's also she's very funny, but not funny in the joking way. She's funny to watch. She's kind of funny. Like she was like, what is she, like you would say, well, what is she doing now? Like, you know what I mean? Like she was funny just in herself, as she makes me understand that. Now, who's the woman that would have put some red in her hair? And I got to say, it wasn't the greatest color red.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
Was it her?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. So she's a character. All right. So she comes through, she makes me laugh. And I feel like, but a lot of love from this woman. She's got a very strong personality. So I feel like she could rub certain people the wrong way, but she means well. Okay. You understand that? Yeah. Yeah. So I want to tell you, she has the utmost love and respect for you because you really put up with a lot. Okay. She is also showing me your husband, he has a brother as well.
Yes.
Okay, because she's telling me she's all about the boys, her boys. You understand that? Okay. So she kind of gives me the feeling of that mom, like I have these boys and whoever they're with is never good enough for my boys. You understand that? Yeah. So she's taking the opportunity to come through today because she's saying, she respected you, and I don't feel that she's the type of person that would have said that while she was here. Okay. So she's just saying there's a lot of love. There's also, there's a bigger dog here as well. So is there like a German Shepherd Lab Retriever type of dog for you that passed?
Two. Retrievers.
Yeah, I see them. Yeah, retrievers. Yeah, I thought they were on that line. So I could see them and they're here as well. Now, why don't I see rabbits?
I had a rabbit.
There you go. So there's a rabbit up there waiting for you as well. I want to talk about also, this is your mother-in-law again. Why is she saying that god-awful rug? What rug is she talking about?
Oh, maybe the rug I have right now.
She don't like it for some reason.
If she could see it, she probably wouldn't.
That's funny. Yeah. So she lets me know she's in your house and giving her opinion like I feel she would. Letting me know that. I have to say with her, yeah, she's a character from everything, the way that she dressed, the way that she's a character. She wore costume jewelry. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, because I see like a box full of like costume jewelry as she shows it to me. So you would know about that.
Yep.
So she also gives me the S symbol. Is there somebody with a name that begins with S, first or last name?
Yes.
Or is this a dog that had the S name?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Um,
want you to think about that. I have the S name. Not sure who
Yep.
it belongs to. And it may be like a sh name, SH. It'll probably come to you later. Don't worry
yeah,
about it.
can't think of it. Yep.
Yeah, but she wants to thank you, you know, for you know, just for being you and for putting up with her. Is just how she's saying it. So I'm gonna leave her with
It's
all
funny.
her love.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm just about tapped out here, if that's okay. Does anybody have any questions for me?
That's quite all right for it to be okay, for sure, Connie. Because we discussed energy, and
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you know how appreciative we are for your offering here today.
Thank you,
For your
thank you,
offering.
thank you.
Anytime. I'd love to do it again, anytime.
Yeah. So, Connie, thank you so much. Do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share with everyone here, or those that might be listening at a later date?
Sure. Yeah. So one, first of all, I love to do group demonstrations. So I'm located in Florida, but you know, if there's a big event, I'm willing to travel. I like to do things that give back to community. So if it's like for a charity or something like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at Psychic Connie. I'm sorry. Oh, Psychic Medium.
Yeah, I
Connie
have. Yeah,
Fusella.
right there. The Connie's website is MeaningfulMessages.info. That's
Right.
MeaningfulMessages.info. You can also connect with Connie on Facebook at Meaningful Messages with Connie Fusella. That's Fus as in Sam, ELLA. Yes, and she's on Instagram at Psychic Medium Connie Fusella. And her email address is connie@meaningfulmessages.info. We will send out Connie's contact information and more in the follow-up email tomorrow, and that will include the replay link so you can watch it again if you'd like. Please visit zenfulconversations.com to sign up for more of these conversations. And Connie, thank you again. Thank you so much again.
Oh, you're welcome. I hope it was helpful. And like I said, just know, you know, our loved ones never leave us. They're with us every day, just in a different form, right? Not in the physical form, but they're with us. And know that, you know, as you can see, doing this, you don't need to be one-on-one in person in front of somebody. You can do it by Zoom, by phone call, because it's just energy. Right. So I just wanted to let you know that as well. And I appreciate you all. And Jen, I appreciate the opportunity to be here today.
Awesome. Awesome. Ladies, thank you so much for being here, for supporting these conversations, and for your wonderful questions. Just thank you so very much. And
Thank
deep
you
and
so
honest
much.
gratitude.
Thank
Namaste,
you.
everyone.
Namaste. Thank you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.